What is malnutrition? Malnutrition is lack of vitamins and food. So when I was little, I remember watching TV and seeing disruptive commercials of children in Africa who suffer of malnutrition, hunger. Those memories are very memorable because who wants to see those type of commercials of children who are barely wearing any clothes and who are starving. Time has passed by or years have passed by, and I still see those commercials that let me thinking, how come the government is not doing anything about it? How come those children are not getting the help they need? Why are they still starving? First, I will talk about children in Africa that suffer from malnutrition. Then I will discuss how our children are affected, and finally, how is the government helping? More than 30% children in Africa suffer from malnutrition. In 2011, Global Hunger found that 6 countries have higher rate of hunger today than 2 decades ago. If action is not taken to reduce malnutrition, 450 million children will be affected by 2025. Medical workers often measure children's arms to check on the level of malnutrition. So I am not going to be sharing any slides because, like I mentioned, those pictures are very disruptive. I don't like to see those pictures, and I'm pretty sure you guys wouldn't like to see it either. But instead, what I'm going to share is the measuring tapes that, like I mentioned before, the health workers measure children's arms. So they basically use it on children from 1 through 5 years of age. Green means that they're healthy, and the yellow means that they're at risk of malnutrition. The red one means they're in malnutrition and risk of death, the red one. So they basically just wrap it around the arm, and they go based on the red and where it hits the number, it's in the green or the red or the yellow. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass them in each side so you guys can go ahead and try to measure them, play with them, measure your arms, and hopefully nobody's on the red. Okay, and that report was done by Jason Strazio in 2012. How are children affected? Children under the 5 years old are the most vulnerable because they need the nutrients and the strength to fight immunity or any kind of disease. In March through May of 2018, there were long rains, many flash floods, and overflowing rivers that wiped out crops. Rainy seasons make it impossible for farmers to crop, affecting every children and their families. This report was done by John Warren in 2018. How is the government helping? The government helps by giving families grant payments, but those payments are small and they are shared with other families. So they're not just giving it to one family, they have to share with everybody else. First, I talked about how the children in Africa suffer from malnutrition. Second, I talked about how children are affected. And third, how is the government helping? I will now be talking about my conclusion. Although the government tries to help, they need to find a bigger way to make grants bigger and not share them with other families. The government needs a huge intervention to reduce malnutrition. The government needs to focus on agriculture by producing more foods high on nutrients. I will be closing now with a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. There are people in the world so hungry that God cannot appear to them except in the form of bread.